There's a sentence people say every day, quietly, casually, almost like a joke. I don't feel like doing anything. No anger, no tears, just emptiness. And most of the time, people misunderstand it. They think it means laziness, lack of discipline, no motivation, bad habits. But what if the truth is darker than that? What if I don't feel like doing anything has nothing to do with laziness at all? What if it's exhaustion? Not the kind sleep can fix, but the kind that lives inside your chest. You wake up tired, not physically sore, just heavy. Your body can move, your mind can think, but your heart feels unplugged. Things you used to enjoy feel distant. Dreams you once cared about feel blurry. Messages pile up, tasks wait, life keeps knocking, and you just stare at the wall, thinking, I don't feel like doing anything. You try to push yourself. You tell yourself to be grateful, to be productive, to stop being weak. But the more you push, the emptier you feel. Here's the truth no one tells you. Most people who say, I don't feel like doing anything, aren't lazy. They're overwhelmed. Their nervous system is tired of surviving. Their mind is tired of processing. Their heart is tired of being strong. They've been carrying too much for too long, without rest, without release, without being understood. Sometimes it comes from burnout, working without feeling alive, waking up just to get through the day, living on schedules instead of purpose. Sometimes it comes from emotional overload, unspoken grief, unfinished goodbyes, unprocessed pain, disappointments stacked on top of each other. Sometimes it comes from loneliness, being surrounded by people but never feeling truly seen, always listening, always supporting, never being asked how you are. Sometimes it comes from pressure to succeed, to provide, to prove your worth, to not fall behind, to not become a failure. And your mind gets tired of running, so it shuts down the desire. I don't feel like doing anything is often the brain's last defense. It's not saying, I don't care. It's saying, I can't take any more right now. You weren't always like this. There was a time you were excited about something, a dream, a plan, a version of yourself you were proud of. But then life happened. You tried, you failed, you hoped, you got disappointed, you trusted, you were let down. Enough times that your heart learned, don't get too excited, don't expect too much, don't care too deeply, because caring started to hurt. So now your mind protects you by numbing your desire. No excitement, no disappointment, no risk, no pain, just nothing. And from the outside, it looks like laziness. But inside, it feels like drowning slowly on dry land. And the worst part, you start to judge yourself for it. You compare your low energy to other people's highlight reels. You tell yourself, other people have it worse. I'm just being dramatic. I should be doing more. I'm wasting my life. So now, on top of being exhausted, you also feel guilty. You don't need more motivation right now. You need rest that actually heals. Not just sleep, but emotional rest. The kind where you don't feel like you have to perform. The kind where you're allowed to feel empty without being judged. The kind where you don't have to explain why you're tired. Sometimes doing nothing is not giving up. It's your soul asking for silence. Sometimes losing interest in everything isn't apathy. It's self-preservation. The truth is, if you've been strong for too long, your body will eventually ask you to stop. Not politely, not gently. It will shut down your motivation, blur your dreams, drain your excitement, just so you don't collapse completely. And maybe right now, you're not broken. You're not lazy. You're not a failure. You're just exhausted in a world that never taught you how to rest. You don't need to fix your whole life today. You don't need a perfect routine. You don't need a sudden glow up overnight. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is admit, I'm tired, and stop punishing yourself for it. One small step is enough for today. Not for success, not for productivity, but for survival. Drink some water, open a window, breathe without rushing. Let yourself exist without having to prove anything. Because the truth about, I don't feel like doing anything, is this. It's not a failure of discipline. It's a signal. And that signal deserves compassion, not shame.